Hello, I'm RantManDan, and I want to support the only man that actually matters to the world of YouTube, Mr. Finn McKenty, the punk rock MBA. He will tell you everything you want to hear or don't want to hear. Regardless of that, he will help you make so much money that you will then hand over to him, 3,000 at a time, on LinkedIn. You don't want to miss your chance. Go right now to the links in the description right down below at www.fuckfinnmckenty.com. You will find a great assortment of true marketing skill. Please go to the description right down below where you can help other people in your position learn how to lose money faster than you ever have before and give it to someone who has no care for what you truly are as a person or what you like
as financial goals.
He has financial goals. Yeah. You want to help him. Go give him $3,000.
God bless you, Finn.
You did it.
Yeah.
All right.
Finance this dick for $3,000.
So Finn McKenty is a fraud. Allow me to explain. Recent interview with Jesse Lee, Finn McKenty confirms that he has quit YouTube. And the reason why is because Finn himself said that he doesn't really care about music and he did it all for the money and he met his financial goals. Seriously, I wish this was clickbait. This came from his mouth.
Like, is that why you stopped making videos, just because of all the negativity?
No, it's because like I don't really have any interest in music. So I was just doing it for the money and I hit my financial goals.
So you really didn't enjoy it at all? It was always just completely transactional?
Yeah, I don't have any interest in music at all.
I just wish he would be more specific. He said, stick it up your, stick it up your, he never told me. I was waiting. I've got it here. I'm ready to stick it. And it's like, well, are you going to tell me or not?
Look at his face right there. That is the face of a soulless loser right there.
You just jizzed in
Actually,
my
it looks
pants.
like it looks like
going with.
it kind of looks like if you drank too much and then the next morning you have that amazing shit and you get that look on your face. That's what it looks like he's going
Oh my
right
god!
now.
You're talking about the dads.
Yes.
Brian, please stop. You're
Yeah.
making another highlight 45 minutes after the last one.
I do want to say there's nothing wrong with making money as a YouTuber or as a content creator. I don't think any of us have a problem with that. I mean, if I could, figure out a way and make this into something where I'm making decent money, which right now I'm not, great. That's fine. But
Oh yeah.
I know all three of us have a passion for music and what we're doing. I mean,
Yeah,
Dan and I
of
have talked about this a lot. I make a lot of videos, and I know they talked about in that interview, oh, nobody watches videos about small bands. I don't care. If I like a band, if 10 people watch that video, that means that's 10 people that now know about that band that maybe didn't.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the driving force. And the fact that, and you guys know this, you can build relationships with these artists. You can build friendships.
Mhm.
That means so much more to me than freaking money that I could make on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah. I had a huge problem with him saying musicians are a lost cause. I'm more than certain, I'm willing to bet that majority of the people that were watching his content were musicians themselves. So it's like, really, motherfucker? You want to talk about your own followers? You want to talk about the motherfuckers that put bread on the table for you, that helped you pay for your fucking bills? Bitch, you wouldn't have fucking diapers for your fucking daughter if it wasn't for musicians that created the music that you were making content for. Fuck you, Finn.
You're listening to the MediaManDan podcast, promoting people with passion all over the globe. Interviews every weekend, album reactions every month. This is your host, MediaManDan. Let's rock!
Well, what's up, guys, and welcome to RantManDan. Today, I have a brand new victim that you guys might have heard of before. A small little channel decided to end recently on the wonderful world of YouTube. Please don't sue me, Disney. This is the gentleman, the mastermind behind everything you ever wanted to hear or not hear, Finn McKenty. We're going to be talking about his downfall as a person as well as a creator and his great decision to say, fuck music, while making music content. Very smart decision. I think that my friends are going to have the greatest outlook when it comes to this. So I've invited Matt Cantu and Brian Moritz of the VIP Soundcheck, who will not swear this entire time. He is family friendly. Don't fucking play around. All right, guys, let's jump right into this.
Before we get started, though, I got to tell you guys, I have absolutely no interest in music. I did this all for the
Shut the fuck up, dude.
I did this all for the money and for the nookie.
There was Fantano's response, which I listened to last night, finally, because I'm so fucking late to everything.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay. He actually was like giving a reasonable, friendly thing for a while. Like, I knew the guy, I met him in person, and then he just destroys him. Like, why the fuck would you do this? Why would you be such a dick? Like, is this your whole plan the whole time? Why would you do it for 6 years? So many questions that'll never be answered.
Yeah. I got to give credit where credit is due, because shout out to Fantano for that video, man, because like the fact that he was able to say, yeah, I met this guy, we did some content together, like they probably had some DM conversations back and forth. The fact that he was able to go in and still like openly criticize the guy, like I think that says a lot about his character and his personality. I know Fantano's a character that, some people love, some people hate. But that was definitely a W on his part. So, yeah, shout out to the needle drop, man.
With the people like Matt here, though, like, we got to give him props. If he didn't expose this, I would have no idea. I wasn't subscribed to Fantano. No one else is talking about this in the main, YouTube community. I was expecting at least one Nick Nocturnal video by now.
I think he did, like, an interview with Finn at one point, like, on his podcast.
He did.
Yeah.
He did? Oh, okay, yeah, because I vaguely remember that. I am subscribed to Nick on YouTube, but I don't like actively engage in his content as much as I probably should. So I have no idea where he stands on this.
Got it.
I did see just like an hour ago, ARTV just put out a video about it. I didn't have a chance to watch it yet, but I saw it just came out.
You know why? Because that dude needs anything to stay relevant. I swear
Exactly.
to God.
Yeah, John's one of John exists. like he is one of the creators of all time. Yeah, and then I guess I'll briefly talk about like my experience with the punk rock MBA and Finn McKenty as a whole. So for those that don't know, I go by Matt Cantu Music on Instagram, TikTok, all my handles. TikTok is obviously my biggest platform with a little over 37,000 followers, and literally the bulk of the content that I create is essentially the content that Finn was doing. I do what I call deep dives and fun facts on some of my favorite bands like Korn and Linkin Park, etc. And that was all inspired by Finn, because I saw what he was doing and I used his format like as a blueprint, and I tried to make it into something original, So my entire online presence was pretty much inspired by him and Anthony Fantano and, several other creators. But it was those two specifically that inspired me to do what I do right now. Just get my phone pointed at my face and just start, rambling on about dumb shit that I'm passionate about. So the reason why Finn would go out there and say like, oh yeah, I just did it for the money and musicians are a lost cause, like that pissed me off, because I put the video out and I got a lot of praise on it and I got some feedback as well. But some people were pretty much saying like, he was doing this as a job. Like, you've never done a job for the money. You've never done a job because you hate it and you have to. And I'm like, maybe it's because I'm from South Texas. Maybe I was raised different. I got no idea. But I have never, ever done a job for the money, because I could be wrong. I'm probably going to piss some people off by saying this, but if you're applying for a job, that means that you want said job, right?
Mhm.
Like, I would assume that means you want the job, whether it's being a garbage man, being a bus driver, being a custodian, or being like the CEO for a company. You know, we live in America. We're in a free country. You could choose what job you want. If you don't want to be working the fryer at McDonald's, quit. Like, do something else. You know, you don't have to torture yourself. Like, I've done jobs that I'm not a big fan of. You know, one of my first jobs was being a server at IHOP. Yeah, I didn't want to really do the service industry, but I took it because they hired me, and I still give those guys praise. Like, they taught me a lot. It helped me, you know, grow up in a way, and I learned a lot of skills that I apply, like, to just life in general, even to this day. And even though it wasn't like the ideal job that I wanted, I still ended up liking it in a way because I found things to enjoy. I know there was one guy on TikTok that was like, oh yeah, I work retail and I don't like it. I don't know how long he's been working in retail, but if you've been working retail for like, you know, 10 plus years and you say that you don't like it, you clearly like something about it, whether it's your coworkers or maybe the hours or the stability or even the benefits. Like, you like something about that job that's preventing you from pursuing something else.
Yep.
Spot
Yeah, and
on.
that's a good point. We all have bad days. We all have things about our jobs, no matter how good they are, that we don't like. I mean, that's the nature of
it's
the
life
beast.
in general.
Yeah. But I like what you said. It's like, if you really hate it, you would have left by now. And, you know, if it was a matter of, hey, man, I'm feeling burnout, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to do something different, that's fine. Just say that. Don't make up this whole, I never cared, it was always about money, when it's like, if that's true, then you're the biggest piece of shit liar ever, because,
exactly.
you know, you grifted everybody for years. I have trouble believing that that's actually true.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing, because like I saw that interview, and there were a handful of people in my comment section that were like, oh, but you know, Finn is a troll, like he's always kidding around, he's obviously kidding. Like, no, I've consumed enough of Finn's content to know when he's being satire and when he's just dicking around.
Yep.
He was not dicking around in that interview. Like, he said what he said, and he said it with his full chest. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a very literal dude, and my mother is an English teacher, so I had a huge problem with him saying musicians are a lost cause, because I could, and like I mentioned in one of my videos, I could be mistaken, because I obviously don't have access to Finn's YouTube channel. I don't know what his percentages are or anything like that. But I'm more than certain, I'm willing to bet that majority of the people that were watching his content were musicians themselves. So it's like, really, motherfucker? You want to talk about your own followers? You want to talk about the motherfuckers that put bread on the table for you, that helped you pay for your fucking bills? Bitch, you wouldn't have fucking diapers for your fucking daughter if it wasn't for musicians that created the music that you were making content for. Fuck you, Finn.
I love what you said. Exactly 100% about the job that you don't want to have. Yeah, like, this is the thing. I hate Taylor Swift. I know it's going to be shocking to some people.
Oh yeah, I fucking love Taylor Swift, bitch. Like,
yes, and that's fine.
Dan knows how big fan I am of Taylor.
But here's the thing: I have such a passion for music that if somebody said, "Dan, I could change your mind on Taylor Swift, just listen to every album," I would literally do that, because I care that much. I don't want any of her money to, I don't want any of my money to go to her, but I understand the streaming world is this, the new way of listening to music. I'm going to have to binge all of her albums. I'm going to do that for my research. I'm going to say what I think of each and every album, each and every song, have an opinion on it. The fact that Finn did that for so many artists, Wikipedia page, album after album, maybe sometimes listening, maybe sometimes just skipping through and finding other people's comments, and continued that for 6 whole years, is the most disgusting, marketing I've
Yeah.
ever seen. As Fantano pointed out, marketing for himself. There was no actual collaboration with care involved. There was nothing of, oh my God, this is going to be such a great idea, and I hope that it grows. It was just, oh, okay, just the next startup business that I'm making is pissing off new metal fans, and pissing off people that don't like mumble rap, and pissing off people that don't like country.
And black metal too.
Professionally,
you got so much shit for the black metal video.
I like those too. As a troll, he is absolutely allowed to do that. The thing is that even trolls, as much as they say shit, they talk their shit, they're genuine people outside of that.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing it intentionally to piss people off. He wasn't even close to getting to his troll voice on the entire interview. He never played the I'm just joking card at all.
Yeah.
And that is the worst part of it. It's so sincerely disturbing to know that someone has been so two-faced for this long. And we will have to go talk about his relationship with his wife, everything of that. Like, there's just so much that's so shady now. Like, what is this man? What is someone that doesn't stand for anything? A fucking loser.
Exactly. And like what Matt mentioned, when he said that musicians are a lost cause, and it's like, based on what? Based on you? On what you think, which is only money, money, money.
Yeah.
Who the hell is he to declare that musicians are a lost cause when he literally just said he doesn't care about music?
Yeah.
So,
and to add on to that, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but
okay.
to add on to that, like that's why I was so pissed off, because he said musicians, because if you're saying musicians are a lost cause, that's like saying New Yorkers are a lost cause, or Californians are a lost cause, women are a lost cause, gays are a lost cause. Like, it's such a generalized statement. If he would have said something along the lines of certain musicians that I used to work with are lost causes, then no problem, because he wouldn't be talking shit about everybody. He would only be talking shit about the people that he worked with. Still kind of shitty in a way, but if he would have said that, no problem. But because he threw everybody under the bus, whether they're professionals, intermediate, or the kid that's getting a guitar for Christmas this year, like, he basically gave us the middle finger to everybody.
Oh, his arrogance was on full display there. It was just, hey, they didn't do it the way that I do it, therefore it's wrong and it's a lost cause. And it's like, well, that's just absurd. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's almost the same amount of ego as that guy that just roasted Eddie on my first stream. What a fucking coincidence that these pieces of shit keep getting called out on RantManDan. What are the odds that all these lifted egos are put in their fucking corner, as they should be? And, hopefully after a while they can look back and they can say, wow, these guys that basically have no numbers, have no money coming in. Finn, I have $0 from everything that I do. But you know why I do it? Because I fucking love it.
Yeah,
and you bring up money, and then he went on that stupid rant about, well, people on LinkedIn are making a lot more money than. What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Why the fuck is LinkedIn like the fucking golden pimp chalice of his of his success? Like okay, badass, you have like a pretty good following on LinkedIn. Like, I got 37,000 followers on TikTok. What the fuck do you want? Like I got $500 off of one video. Like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure Finn made way more money than that on like one or two videos alone. But still, man, like, this whole situation is stupid. And I said something in the comment section of the YouTube video that some people kind of got like about, and I said that if a doctor, for example, right, if a doctor were to say my patients are lost causes, I'm only doing this for the money, that would have been like a huge red flag. And I've been in healthcare for the past 6 years. Like, even if it's not a doctor, even if it's a nurse, a CNA, a tech, whatever the case may be, if it was anybody in healthcare that said these patients are lost causes, I'm only doing this to collect a check, like, that's an automatic write-up. And some people were like, well, that's not the same thing, because, Finn is making music content. Doctors are out there actually saving fucking lives. And it's like, yes, I'm aware of that. But the thing is, there's more doctors out there than just, you know, the ER doctors. There's more doctors than just surgeons. There's podiatrists, there's psychiatrists, there's neurologists, you know, there's dentists. Some people forget that dentists are considered doctors. They are I want to say they're actually MDs, because they do have to go to medical school and all that as well. So healthcare is very broad and very vast. Like, there's not just ER doctors. So yeah, my opinions still stand on that statement, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Speaking of the numbers that you were talking about before, with how you're doing on TikTok, and Brian over here has you're going towards 100,000, man, on what, YouTube right now?
YouTube, I'm about 74,000.
74,000. Brian, you're not
amazing.
making that into money. Did you know you're stupid? Did you know you're stupid?
I know.
The fact that he fucking said that, dude, was the
I'm a
worst
lost
thing
cause.
he could do.
I don't
Yeah,
know
you
what
are.
to do.
You know,
You know
That's
what?
about a lost cause.
I need to go on LinkedIn. I need to send Finn $3,000 to figure out how to get my shit together. I'm just wasting my time and my life here.
Didn't you know that he knew everything? The guy who has less subscribers than Carly Shay knows everything. Isn't that
Exactly.
fucking amazing? Absolutely amazing. Our friend Carly Shay, who just made reaction content and probably made a decent amount of money, but not like millions of dollars like Finn's talking because of LinkedIn.
Okay.
maybe that's
I
the
gotta
problem.
ask
Maybe we all need to get on LinkedIn at the end of the day.
What does he do all day on LinkedIn? Does he just celebrate people's 10-year anniversary at their job? I mean, what do you do all day on LinkedIn? How does that work?
It's Facebook for even older people.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand. He's like, oh, you know, all these people on LinkedIn are making more money. Well, then why are they on LinkedIn looking for jobs? If they're making all this, none of this makes sense. What he's saying. It's like, what does that have to do with YouTube anything?
Yeah. I
Sounds
mean,
like you got
maybe it's because I don't have a LinkedIn, but I really don't get like what is the purpose of it, you know? Now, granted, like there's a woman that I work with. I can't like necessarily name drop her for legal reasons and whatnot, but she's basically like a marketer / liaison, and she talks about LinkedIn because she uses it a lot. And from what she's told me, people use LinkedIn. Like, yeah, you could use it as a resume because there is like a resume function on there, but they also use it as a form of networking, since like, because she's liaison and she's also a marketer, she's able to use LinkedIn as a way to, you know, get connections, get connected with people. So it's basically like more professional version of Facebook. Like, a lot of people that have LinkedIn, like their profile pictures are professional headshots, you know, like suit and tie kind of thing. Like there's like no shit posting on there whatsoever. But she did mention that she has interacted with like CEOs of, you know, major healthcare companies and insurance companies, you know, stuff like that. Like, they're just in the DMs back and forth trying to work out certain deals or what have you. So I could see how it's like, you know, very much beneficial for her. But like, Finn is wanting to charge $3,000 so you could get your Instagram follower count up. Like, what the fuck is, like, what are you doing? Like, it makes zero fucking sense still at the end of the day. Like, Finn's whole thing is, like, his whole foundation is just built on lies. Mm-hmm. And me coming into this, like, as a former fan of his content, like, I genuinely feel shafted, you know? Yep. Like, I feel like my dad was like, oh yeah, like I never cheated on your mom, you know, whatever. And then all of a sudden, like, they get a divorce. Like, what kind of shit is that, man? Like, you know, I genuinely feel lied to.
Absolutely.
I feel betrayed.
You bring up a good point. Dan and I have talked about this. When I first started watching Finn, I didn't like him. And I told Dan, I was like, this guy's an arrogant jerk. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to give him a chance. And I thought, you know, he brings up some good points. He gives some good arguments. And I literally was on the verge of making a video about how I was wrong about punk rock MBA and how I came to like him and like his stuff. And then he pulls this. I was like, you just completely told me that my initial thought was absolutely dead on. Like you were a grifter and a liar, worse than I initially thought.
And that's also why I apologize to the Finn McKenty haters in my video, because they were absolutely right. So shout out to them, because they saw through the facade way before I ever could. Like, I was genuinely blinded, and I thought this dude's content came from a place of like passion and just drive overall. That's what I thought punk rock MBA was. It was talking about how bands like A Day to Remember and System of a Down, and how certain genres, the rise and fall, happened through a marketing and business point of view. Because I hate to give the guy credit, but you know, when he was talking about like merch designs and packaging and image, like it to me, it made it seem like he wanted to help us get to the next level. Like basically saying like, hey bro, you have amazing music, that's cool, but now you got to work on your image. Now you got to work on your website. Now you got to work on your merch designs. And I took that to heart. I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? Yeah, he's right. Like, you know, I got to work on my image now. I got to, you know, come up with really clever merch designs. So that was all inspired by him, only for him to just be like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about anybody.
It's so awful, man. One of my biggest issues that I've seen recently, I can go to any like Finn McKenty tagged like video on YouTube, and sometimes you'll find a poor soul that actually donated to him on Twitch so that he could react to their music. And these people are like so happy in the video. Like, oh my God, Finn McKenty, one of our favorite creators, checked out the music. And in our mind as fans, we were like, hell yeah, that's so cool. You know, everybody deserves a chance. And to say,
you know what?
People don't even fucking matter. That's horrible, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. I just
you did
remembered,
find one?
I just remembered my friends in the band Love Again. They're a Midwestern emo band from San Antonio. They actually got one of their songs reacted to from Finn. So I'm pretty sure one of them had to give the guy some dough to react to that. I just remembered that. Fuck.
And you know what?
They feel shafted as well.
If you want to do a paywall as a creator, because you are in the big leagues, you know, Brian has a really good amount of numbers right now, and he could consistently grow if YouTube stops blocking his content from showing up on feeds. Because he drops so much shit, you have no idea how much shit he's dropping unless you are truly subscribed with all notifications on, and that is for everybody.
Make sure you hit that bell.
Yeah, VIP Soundcheck right here. I got this beautiful mug from him. I'm gonna try to make it so no, you can't see white on this fucking screen. It is impossible. But yeah, it's like you put so much effort into this, and if you wanted to, you could ask your fans, you know, like a Patreon kind of thing, like, hey, subscribe for like bonus content and stuff like that. For me, I do the Patreon stuff because I want people to get that like realistic feel of how interviews like this go. Like talking with people is something I love to do. Editing that and then making it so cool and hearing it on Spotify in full form. Like if you saw how much I did on this last Yafanya interview, it was like so much effort, and that's why she's going to be posting it on her stuff tomorrow. Now that could blow me up or do something terrible or just make me into a hit piece, but I don't really care because I'm really focused on putting content out that I know that I loved. I love doing, I love making it, I love seeing how it goes. I would never ask anybody to pay me money to see it. That's the thing. Is like people in big leagues, you know, I understand. Like Alex Hefner, he's huge. Great movie reaction. Yeah. Every time he drops a movie reaction, I drop everything. I gotta watch it because he's doing so movies fucking now too? Funny. Yeah, dude, he does. Alex, what is it? TV and film, TV and movie vault. Yeah,
I didn't know he was doing that. I remember him from his music reactions.
Yeah.
Damn,
yeah,
I haven't checked that dude out in a minute.
He's so good, dude. I swear, he's one of the most consistent and honest people left on YouTube. Like, it's sad how
does he still do the back with another reaction with the with the fist sound?
Oh no! But he still does every inappropriate joke during the Disney movie reactions.
And you know, I do want to say, there's nothing wrong with making money as a YouTuber or as a content creator. I don't think any of us have a problem with that. I mean, if I could, you know, figure out a way and make this into something where I'm making decent money, which right now I'm not, great. That's fine. But
Oh yeah.
I know all three of us have a passion for music and what we're doing. I mean,
Yeah, of
Dan and I have
course.
talked about this a lot. I make a lot of videos. I know they talked about in that interview, oh, nobody watches videos about small bands. I don't care. If I like a band, if 10 people watch that video, that means that's 10 people that now know about that band that maybe didn't. And to
Yeah.
me, that's the driving force, and the fact that, and you guys know this, you can build relationships with these artists. You can build friendships.
Mhm.
That means so much more to me than freaking money that I could make on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
give me a
exactly.
break.
Yeah, like I could say that, you know, my content has introduced me to, like, you know, musicians that have become some of my closest friends, like,
Mhm.
you know, my homie Marcos Leal, for example, from Alice, Texas. He's in a metalcore band called Shattered Sun. We've been friends for nearly a decade. He was singing for Il Nino for a few years.
Nice.
After they axed Christian Machado, the original guy. Well, technically not the original guy, because the original dude was some hardcore vocalist. But either way, he sang for Il Nino for the past like 4 or 5 years, and he just left Il Nino this year. So I have that connection with him, and Travis McCoy of Gym Class Heroes. I did a video on him, and he followed me back. I slid in his DMs. I was like, hey, if you need anything, you know, just let me know. And we got to talking, and you know, he's such a kind soul, very, very down to earth, and he has some opinions on on Finn McKenty as well. I dropped that video, and he commented on it, and he basically just said, like, yeah, talk your shit, man. Like, and he said something. I need to figure out what it was, because it's definitely important for what we're talking about.
One of them was
he-
what? All caps, I think.
Yeah, it was all caps.
Like,
It
get
was
'em.
on Instagram. Yeah, he said, let me see here. He said, "Get him, Maddie."
Love
All
it.
caps. Yeah, shout out to Travis McCoy, man. And then he has another comment right here too. This one's a little lengthier, so I'll read this one out. He says, and I quote, "Somebody fuck start this dude's face before I sick my sisters on him. For someone who doesn't give a fuck about music, his fanboy vibes were on Kratos mode. Laughing emoji, hashtag don't let money change you." And that's
Amen to that.
yeah, and that's one thing that I could genuinely say that I've noticed about Travi. Like, you know, he's got the platinum records, he's got the gold records.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Cupid's Chokehold. Everybody knows Billionaire with Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Everybody knows, you know, Peace Sign, Index Down with Busta Rhymes. Like, he's worked with so many people. He's written amazing songs, and the money never got to him. Like, you could probably run into him on the streets of New York City right now, and he'll talk to you like he's known you for years. That's just how genuine the guy is, and that's why you know, Travi is one of my inspirations, because he said that he would never let money you know, change him. You know what I mean? Like, he said if anything ever happens with his solo stuff or Gym Class Heroes or whatever project that he was a part of, he promised that he was going to keep himself grounded and remain humble. And that's advice that I took to myself too, because I have bands right now that hit me up in the DMs all the time saying, like, hey, could you talk about us? Like, how much would you charge for a shout out? And I'm like, dude, I don't charge a fucking dime.
Yep.
Because I've been there. I've been in that situation where I'm starting out and I want people to listen to my music. I want people to jam my record. And in this day and age, like, you know, nobody has a PR guy, nobody has a marketer, like, especially if you're an independent artist. So you have to just, you know, slide into everybody's DMs and just hope that somebody clicks your link.
And I think we can all feel like, hey, if we never made a dime from making the content that we do, we'd still do it because it means that much to us.
Yeah.
And that's what, to me personally, was so frustrating when I saw Finn attitude about it. It's like, man, you know, I mean, all three of us can say, you know, we've met people, we become friends with people, and it blows our mind that we're able to do this. It's such a blessing. He's got it 10, 100 times fold, and he doesn't care.
Yeah, like,
that's what's so frustrating.
People would literally love to trade places with that guy right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, and me, for example, I'm pretty sure I could speak for all three of us. Like, you know, when I create content, I create it because I love it and I got a passion for it, and I always have. Like, I'm gonna continue to keep putting out music, keep making albums, keep doing what I want to do because I love it. And I brought up this example the other day. You know, my wife, I love her to death. She's been a nurse for nearly a decade. She obviously makes way more money than I do. And I'm fine with that because that's her career and she loves it. She wouldn't want to be doing anything else. Me, I recently just got a promotion with the hospital that I work at. Now I'm a bus driver for the outpatient therapy. And I've been in the position. Thank you. And I've been in the position for about 3 weeks already. And I got a raise from what I was doing before, like a good $3 or $4 pay bump or whatever, but it still doesn't match my wife's base salary. So I make less money than her on paper hourly, but she's fine with that too, because we have this mutual understanding of as long as you love the job that you're in, that's all that matters. Because my father drilled it in my head at an early age. If you love your job, you're never going to work a day in your life.
There you go.
And I could honestly say that, you know, for the first time in a very long time, I genuinely do love my job. I love driving the short bus. I love picking up, you know, these patients. I love taking them to therapy. I have like a more one-on-one connection with them, and they seem to really enjoy me as well. And it's just a totally different vibe. I could honestly say that I wake up in the morning and I'm not like, I gotta clock in again today, or I gotta go back to the office. Like, no, I freaking love it. Like, I've always said I don't really care about the money. I could honestly give a shit about, you know, what I'm getting paid. As long as I love what I'm doing, like, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
What's been going on with your life, man, other than the other, you know, we can continue. We're going to continue hating Finn, but at the same time, I do want to focus on you as a man because you are awesome and you were on the podcast. Brian's been on the podcast a couple of times, but Brian and I were friends before I made the podcast. So
Yep.
I like to bring the guests back on and make sure that life is still going well. How's the music? How's life?
I released After Hours earlier this year, and it was met with great praise. I did like a limited CD run, sold out within 24 hours, so people were really digging the Adult Swim covers. And I guess I could finally tease it since like I'm in the final recording stages of it, but I'm about to drop a new solo song outside of Pulse Demon. So for those that don't know, I do have a band called Pulse Demon TX. Obviously it stands for Texas. And what we're doing is we're mixing like nu metal with electronic dance music. So essentially think what Korn was trying to do in 2011 with the Path of Totality. But I think we're doing that sound like a little bit better. I'm playing an 8-string guitar on majority of these songs, and we're incorporating different elements of music that we grew up with. Like we have a song called Fuerza Corpitos that's been out for a minute now, and it's basically a cumbia song with nu metal influence and some metalcore breakdowns. So essentially, take Korn, A Day to Remember, and Selena, Ramon Ayala, throw them all into a blender and you get this song. But this new track that I'm working on right now, the working title is Frat Boy, PHRATBOI.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the working title right now. It may or may not be the final title of the song. I'm not sure yet. But I'm gonna try to release it probably within January or so.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the time frame that I'm looking at. And this is just, you know, straight up nu metal with a little bit of punk rock influence in the chorus. And I'm looking forward to it. You know, lyrically, it's a song about being pissed the fuck off. Not being angry, not being pissed off, being pissed the fuck off. Like to the point where, you know, your thoughts are clouding everything. You can't necessarily control what you're doing. I guess you could kind of call it a Kyle anthem. You know, the type of guys that listen to Five Finger Death Punch, drink like 20 monsters a day, punch holes in the drywall because they hate their fucking stepdad. It's gonna be one of those songs where a lot of bounce riffs, and I get to whine about the pain that I feel inside. You know, it's definitely gonna be one of those songs. And I'm looking forward to it. I wrote the lyrics myself. I'm tracking vocals for it this Sunday. And I can't wait for you guys to listen to it when it drops, because I'm genuinely proud of this thing. It's my first original song in a very, very long time.
Awesome, man. Dude, this is going to be an epic time. I knew this was going to be a great day. By the way, let's celebrate. Sonic is finally out. I am so pumped to see people falling in love with it. And some of my favorite critics have already reviewed it and given it some high praise. Some people have said this is the best of the Sonic franchise.
It evidently is.
Yeah, and you're part of it. So have you already seen it?
Yeah, I saw it opening night, dude. Like my wife bought the tickets the minute that they went on sale here in Corpus, and we saw it
costume.
Yeah, dude. No, okay. So the funny thing is, I was legit gonna cosplay as Shadow because that's my boy. Obviously, got the fucking tattoo right here.
Hell yeah.
And the damn jacket hasn't come in yet, so. Yeah, so I went in my work attire, but I still had fun. It's a genuinely amazing ride. If you're a Sonic fan, and if Sonic Adventure 2 is like your favorite Sonic game, if that's peak Sonic storyline for you right there, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this movie. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there's a lot of fan service, obviously. And shout out to Paramount, man, because they're really listening to the fans. They're listening to what we're saying online, because there's little things that they threw in there where I was like, these motherfuckers, dude. Like, they have to be in some. There has to be like some marketing guy, maybe not Finn McKenty, but there's probably some marketing guy that has like a hidden Reddit account that's just reading all of this shit and like responding to everything, because it was genuinely.
It's on LinkedIn. We could look him up right now.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a fun ride. I do have my gripes with it as a diehard Sonic fan. Like there's a few gripes that I did have with it. But I can't like get into them without spoiling it. But overall, genuinely, I could give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think right now it's sitting at like an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I agree with Rotten Tomatoes on that score. I think that's fair. I really think it's fair.
Awesome, dude. I mean, I'm pumped. I'm seeing it hopefully tomorrow, depending on how my car is. But my fiance agreed to watch 2 movies with me this year that she did not plan to. One was Wicked, and my thoughts were very clear in my story. I wanted to get to my car as soon as possible. And it's not because the music's bad, and it's not because the acting's bad. It's because I felt like I was given this hype, right? It built underneath my blood that I needed to go and see this movie. Otherwise, I'm not a good movie critic. So I said, okay, Allison, I have to see this movie. My favorite critic just praised it. It's much like Finn McKenty when he used to praise artists that you would never know that are good. And you're like, oh, yeah, I see where he's coming from with this. Except for he was full of shit. My favorite critics are not full of shit. They just have their own opinions, which are wrong in this case. The movie has literally no substance to it. Every single scene, I'm like, I could tell what's going to happen a mile away. And the moment that the characters switched sides, I was like, oh, wow, I didn't see that coming. I looked at Allison at least 16 times and was like, amazing. Like, every time it gets worse.
Damn.
The scene is getting worse, and it keeps going.
So I guess it's safe to say you did not like Wicked.
Oh, it was my favorite movie of the year. What are you talking about? Best film of 2025. I mean, 24, whatever this year is. I don't know. But no, dude, I
right there. Oh yeah, no, dude, I fucking love Wicked. This is the greatest movie ever. I totally made money off of it.
Great idea. Movie Man Dan does a Finn McKenty and literally praises
Finn McKenty.
All you got to do is bring up Wikipedia and just read it off. That's all you got to do, right? That's what he said.
Elphaba was my favorite character. I love that they said they found space when they were on an interview with Queer Media. I think that it's great that they're holding space.
What does that mean? Has anybody figured that out?
Even the gays don't know, dude. It's fucking crazy.
I think it's got something to do with the Earth being flat. I don't know.
Oh, so you got to get past the ice wall. Then okay, I got you.
Yeah, you got to get past the ice wall. You know?
Oh my gosh. I tried my best to like anything that they gave me. Popular is still in my head. They did good with that. Everything else, I can't tell you what I watched, what I heard. I have to rewatch the movie for critical spite. And I will, because Finn, it's crazy. You go out there and you say things about like topics that are hot right now, but you have no opinion because you actually haven't experienced them for yourself. I'm going to go experience it 2 times so that I know that I can solidify my thoughts and portray real emotion when it comes to my actual opinion on something that has like passion made from genuine curiosity. What a fucking coincidence that we're just talking about Finn McKenty. I got to get back into him now and blast him harder than I'm blasting Wicked. The fact that he has, used this platform, YouTube, as an influencer and influenced almost everybody to be like, well, you know what's more punk rock than punk rock? Like saying that you don't like punk rock, like saying that you don't like the thing that sounds like heavy music, like, so you're like justifying it in your brain. And if he was a genuine person that truly loved what he was doing or truly loved the music and actually cared about like going into discographies and listening to each and every song and saying like, oh man, this was an absolute heavy hitter, I loved it, it would be great. Knowing that that's nothing now, it is literally a facade in order to make money. It hurts so personally to know I gave any time to this man, to give any views to this man. I've given him thousands of views, dude.
Oh yeah, I wish I could retract every fucking hour, every minute, every view that I gave this fuckhead if I knew that I was helping him collect a check at the end of the day. And granted, yeah, that could be said about like most people that make content. I mean, I monetize on my TikTok videos. Yes, I do get some money from it, but like, even if I wasn't making money, like the way that I felt about TikTok in the beginning when I first started is the same way that I feel now. Because I always tell everybody, pretty much similar to what Travis McCoy said about himself. Like, if I ever get the opportunity to do something music related, whether it's through TikTok or YouTube or my actual music itself, if I'm able to make money from it, okay, cool. But that's not the goal at the end of the day. My goal is just to put out quality content that I'm proud of and that people can consume. And if there's at least just like 1 or 2 people that's like, oh, I learned something, or you inspired me to do whatever, or I genuinely love whatever it may be. If I'm able to move somebody or make their day, then my job is done.
Absolutely. And that's the coolest feeling, I think. And I know we've all felt it. I've experienced where somebody I don't even know sends me a message like, hey, I watched your interview with this artist or your artist spotlight. I checked them out. I love this band now. That's the coolest feeling. Like, that's exactly why I do this.
That's exactly how I met Teddy, my bandmate. I did an interview with Corpus Christi Originals. It's a local podcast here in town where the host Jesus, he highlights different people in the area, whether they're business owners, politicians, musicians, what have you. And I was on there doing my thing. And he also interviewed my good friend Teddy Smith. He's a local EDM DJ here in Corpus. He specializes in bass house and certain genres like that. And he actually reached out to me one day and was like, "Hey, I have this song that I'm working on. It's called I Am the God. I really want guitars on it. Would you be down?" And I was like, "Yeah, send the track over. I'll see if I could work on it." And I heard it, and granted, like I'm not a huge like EDM guy in general. I don't actively go out of my way to consume Skrillex or Deadmau5 or anything like that. Shout out to those guys. I mean, they're definitely very talented. It's just not a genre that I consume on a daily basis. So, but I listened to the track and I was like, this is interesting. Like, this is really different. And I loved it a lot. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, dude, I'll I'll throw some guitars on here. So I got my 8-string and I did my thing. I even did like a little solo because in the bridge he added this like jazz section with saxophone and whatnot, and then it just, you know, the drop kicks in again. And I recorded the guitars at Omega Records in Kingsville, sent it to him, and you know, he loved them. We put the song out, and I think to this day, I want to say it's Teddy's like second best song on his Spotify right now.
Nice.
And people were really digging that sound. And he reached out again and he was like, "Hey, I got another song if you want to work on it." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And he's like, "Hey, I got another one and another one and another one." And I was like, "Dude, if you're gonna keep sending me tracks, we might as well just, you know, put out an EP or put out a record or something." And he was like, "I like the way you think. Let's do it." And then we were talking a little more. And we were like, okay, but how are we going to do this? Like, is it going to be a collaboration thing? Like, is it going to be Teddy Smith featuring Matt Cantu? Or are we doing like a project, like a new project name altogether? And I told him, I was like, well, why don't we just do a new project altogether? You know, why don't we just make it like a band, a group, you know? That way we could differentiate your solo stuff and my solo stuff from this project. And that's how Pulse Demon was born at the end of the day.
Nice.
Love it, man.
Yep,
Dude,
and it was all through a podcast.
It's all about word of mouth. It's all about personal interest. And so when I was watching Finn's videos, there were some moments, you know, I'm sitting at work, I'm bored as hell on a computer. And this was not my favorite job ever, but I was able to listen to YouTube while I was doing my work. So I was like, hey, this is a plus. Every time he made some stupid ass joke or some super hilarious sarcastic remark, I would like save it in my memory. Like, oh my God, my dad's going to love this. Oh my God, my friends are going to love this. Oh my God, Allison's going to love this. And like any other person, I promote only the people that I'm, you know, fond of. And so instantly I send it to Brian. I send it to everyone else. I wait until I get home and then my dad and I watch it together. And it's him like watching MTV, you know, like classic stupid shit. Like what did they have? The Next One. You remember he did that on the second channel? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my last experience, and I showed it to my friend, and that was the last experience he had as well. He unfortunately couldn't make it tonight. I don't know what he's doing right now. He said he was free, but I think it's late anyway, so it's okay. But I was like so into his stuff, and I was like, he's such a funny guy, the way that he puts this stuff together from just simple stream. And my friend Jaden, who I've had on the podcast and Brian knows well as well, he told me Finn's streams are not fun to watch, but the way the editing goes are really like entertaining.
Yeah,
and
I was gonna say that
it.
too. I never saw his streams like when they were live, but I would catch the highlights on YouTube.
So
and
it's all marketing.
Yeah,
really all marketing.
And I really do feel like if you watch the edit of the streams, it's a totally different vibe compared to when you're actually experiencing it in real time.
Yeah. Thank God he doesn't use the background music to emotionally invest you in any way. I fucking hate YouTubers that do that. And I want to call out somebody because I haven't seen any of their content, and I thank God that I haven't. What was her name? Brian, remember? She was like, she always did the welcome back. I cannot remember her name. You got it?
But that sounds like so many YouTubers, though.
I know, it sounds like Alexi Rivera is her name. Alexa
I
Rivera.
don't know if I've seen her.
No? Okay, hold on one second. I'm so sorry. We have to.
I was gonna say that sounds like
tonight.
just like a random just e-girl that there's a million of.
I swear to God, it feels like it every time that I watch one of these videos. So I want you to think about this. I'm a full-grown man. I'm just searching through YouTube.
I thought that was her for a second. I'm
looking.
Yeah, I was gonna.
You're like, Dan, who's that? No, I don't know. That was a random thing on the page. Okay,
that's a bitchin' hairdo, though.
You're swiping through your home.
Kind of looks like mine.
Homepage. This is your main feed. Oh,
yeah! There's our boy.
Let's go,
There he
boys.
is.
Let's go.
See, an hour ago we called. There you go.
On time.
God.
He is here.
He
Holy
actually did
shit.
it.
It's only 11 minutes. We could do a reaction to
should
that
we react
video.
to this instead?
We
should.
react to this. Shit.
Again.
I see what you mean with the Beyond AR TV
Yeah.
now. Oh
See?
my
I
gosh.
fucking hate Finn McKenty exposing the punk rock MBA. Fuck. Okay.
He got 4,000 views.
Oh
in
man,
3
is
hours.
Tank the Tech kissing up to him? What's that about?
Why people are furious at Finn McKenty, but I'm not. No, he's probably going to be like, I expected him to be a complete fake.
That's
phony.
true.
He's a
20
big fat
23
phony.
fucking minutes. Shit.
Big fat phony. Okay.
What Finn McKenty teaches us about poser culture.
This guy's a big fat phony. This guy's a big fat phony.
Big fat phony.
All right, are we ready for Nick?
Let's
I
do
am
this.
ready.
I'm going to
Come on,
drop
Nick.
frames. I'm so sorry about this.
It's all right, man.
All right, here we go.
Don't let us down, Nick. Please don't let us down.
Okay. Because he's had him on the podcast. He's going to be like,
All right, this
okay, there we go. That's a great way to start it.
That was
That's,
an awesome start right there.
Not
That
even
was-
2 seconds in, and that's already amazing.
So we got 720. Here we go. I apologize.
this wasn't
You
on
can't
my
see it.
2024 music bingo card, but I guess let's go. Now, you guys have probably heard of fellow music content creator Finn McKenty, also known as the punk rock MBA. He's done tons of videos on his YouTube channel that you've probably seen over the years regarding, the scene, particular nostalgic bands from the 2000s, their rise, their fall, the death of metal subgenres. And with Finn usually coming from a marketing perspective when he's talking about music, when it comes to his actual videos and outline. Honestly, more importantly, I think his podcast, where he has had tons of huge musical guests on the show
I
over the
forgot
years,
about
bands,
that.
musicians,
Yeah.
people from the alternative scene too, people from the industry. And he's been a content creator in this space for around 7 years at this point. And only a few months ago, he kind of just left. Like, he didn't make a video or say anything. He just was like ghost, just disappeared, until very recently, as of a week ago, he did a podcast interview with Jesse Lee where he kind
To correct Nick, and not to say anything badly about Nick, he did put a video out on the Punk Rock
Why I
MBA.
quit, right?
Yeah, that said
Yeah.
why I don't feel like this is the right move. And then I saw people as like fucking become the knight, the master
Oh,
critic,
I know that guy.
the cynic of all cynics, Mike the music snob says,
Yeah,
you know
the
what,
Dream
Finn,
Theater guy,
go
right?
you.
That's him.
So I just can't wait for Mike the music snob to stand up and say something.
Come on, Mike. Be the hero we all need, man.
Dude, as soon as he sees how many people are jumping on this, he's probably going to be like, oh, fuck. Okay, I got to chime in. Because, anybody that's involved, he's going to be, I don't want to compare it to something as serious as like an allegation of, like rape or something like that. But I will say that when cancel culture hits, or when people are just bad people, these people, this is their job to say, I don't want anything to do with them.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It recently happened with Dr.
Diddy.
Disrespect and Diddy, of course.
Yeah.
Ain't no party like a Finn McKenty party. That's all I gotta say.
Ain't no party like a punk rock NBA party.
Brian, you might have literally just made the intro to the entire video. That might be the funniest fucking thing. we just alluded to
Yeah, with
sexual assault
Finn
crazy
McKenty
shit.
over here.
Just put a little picture of LeBron in that that French maid uniform next to me when I say that. That'd be awesome.
Man, I mean nothing to y'all. Understand nothing was done for me.
I'm coming home. All right. Anyway, we're going back into Nick here.
explained everything, and is where you probably saw this clip.
Is that why you started making videos, just because of all the negativity?
No, it's because I don't really have any interest in music.
Great screenshot
So
right there.
I was just doing it for the money, and I hit my financial goals, and so there's really just no reason for me. Like, I don't have to keep doing it.
A few other parts of this interview, which I think the best way to describe them is just a bit more surprising.
And so you really didn't enjoy it at all? There's just no part of you that was like, oh, I'm excited to talk about this band today, or
No.
anything like that. It was always just completely transactional for you?
Yeah, I don't have any
I don't
interest in
have
music
at all.
I feel like even watching this saying I don't have any interest in music at all is just kind of a wild statement. And this has sparked a lot of attention to Finn, as well as a big conversation in the music scene particularly, which has been crazy to see from the perspective, sure, of the diehard Finn haters, which are like, hey, we were right. We knew that guy was a poser. I hate him. And it's to people that have actually watched Finn and are fans of him. I think more so just having the perception of like, hey, dude, like I liked this content, and now it just kind of feels weird that I was watching it. Meanwhile, you didn't even like this the whole time, but I'm sitting here kind of like supporting this. To having so many people talk about this in the content creator space that even Fantano made a video on this, which I think honestly is one of the best videos regarding this situation because it is a bit more neutral. I mean, Fantano has met Finn in person, has done collabs with him. Kind of weird that you would make your whole like 7 years of your life about music and building a brand around it just to get the bag. Honestly, I feel like if you just like, I get it, Finn's the marketing dude and he's always been very blatant and blunt in his videos, but also if you wanted to just be like the LinkedIn crypto like finance bro, I feel like you can just go and do a YouTube channel on marketing and finance and also have a lot better CPMs than music. Best way I can describe my thoughts on this is as if a coworker that you work with, you know, every day, don't really like hang out after hours, but you know, you see each other, always nice to each other and all that, and then all of a sudden they stop coming to work for a few months and you're like, I wonder where they went. You know, did they get fired? Did they have to deal with some life stuff? And then all of a sudden they come back, go straight to the manager's office, take a steaming hot shit on their desk, and then on the way out try to light the entire office on fire, and then a few moments later just act like nothing happened. It's kind of weird to see, to be frank. I mean, myself, I've watched a lot of Finn's videos over the years. I thought he's made some like pretty decent content. I don't, you know, agree with everything he says. There's definitely points and stuff I disagree with. There's stuff I'm like, yeah, like that's cool. And in general, I think on my end, I was just happier to see a person in the space that is introducing more people and a bigger audience to metal, to alternative scene, like whatever it might be. I'm like, okay, like that's nice. That's a win. Why not? And I've done collabs with Finn. Like I've been on his podcast, which honestly, I thought we had just like a lovely chill podcast, as well as like, I know he's done videos talking about my content. I've done videos talking about his content, and he's been on my channel for a video that I actually really loved, which was us talking about the evolution of metalcore, where I also had Nick Hippa, who's a legend in the metalcore scene, of course, in that discussion. And I wanted to have someone from more the 90s, 2000s perspective that kind of has done the more hardcore punk metalcore side of things to weave into that. And we all had like a really good conversation. And again, that's one of my favorite videos I thought we've done on the channel, where it just shows this tree line of evolution of metalcore. And going through all of that and then just seeing a statement of just like, yeah, I don't really, like, I don't actually care about music at all. And things like, I've never heard of System of a Down.
You knew so much about the topics you were talking about that I was like, dude, I can't make content. Like, I don't know, like the encyclopedia history of all these bands, but like,
well,
you
neither
just
do
came,
I.
like,
It's just like literally look it up on Wikipedia. I don't know. Like I've never listened to System of a Down in my life.
It's hard for me to believe the first time listening to this podcast of like, I hate music, because like, really, you're gonna build a whole career on music just for the bag? Like, and I really feel like the best place of discourse for this situation, it's definitely not been Reddit, but more so actually Fantano's comment.
We are all fools.
Oh, God damn it, Peacock. Fuck you, dude.
Dude, I can't stand NBC doing this to me right now. Like,
Shit
put on a
fucking
Brooklyn
lags
Nine-Nine
on my
commercial.
TV all the time.
Love.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine commercial, please. That's what I want. All right, there we go.
Comment section. Which, reading some of these, you know, like top comment, I got called a poser by a guy who doesn't even like music. Damn. I played 1,000 hours of this video game and it's absolute garbage. Type behavior. Grifting as a music enjoyer is wild. There's legitimately no way he's telling the truth. There are things that can't be Googled. There's a lot more profitable niches to pretend to be into.
Focusing on
He's
LinkedIn
trolling.
is
That's
Yeah.
That's what it said?
Wait, real quick. I should have asked this shit a long fucking time ago, and I'm too lazy to Google it right now. But what the fuck is grifting? Like, what's the definition of that?
Grifting is where you basically pander to an audience to make them believe that you are in for a genuine interest. Either you share mutually or something where you are...
Particularly if you're trying to get them to join like your Patreon.
Yeah, support me and then I'll give you this, or support me because I care about you, and you're literally taking their money and doing whatever the fuck you want with it.
Got it. Okay, I did not know that was a fucking thing. I learned something today. Cool.
Oh man, it has been the #1 word that I've heard ever since I started listening to conservative podcasts, because they talked about it with you wouldn't believe this. It's actually a pretty libertarian point of view. conservatives bash ex-conservatives a lot.
I can see that.
Do not believe there's anyone true conservative more than themselves, so they will find any little thing that isn't conservative about someone, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, go back to your fucking OnlyFans, bitch!" Like it's like the whole entire thing is dragging other people down that have the same beliefs as them. And you can agree with me, Brian. How do the conservatives feel about Blair White?
Oh yeah, that was awkward.
And here's Finn, who's actually friends with Blair, which is even more concerning. I got to see if she or he says anything, and not to be transphobic. Blair is one of the most transphobic trans people of all time. That's why you can refer to them as he, she, they, whatever you want to call them, because that is a huge name in the conservative movement that is outside of the original white straight man.
Was Blair White the one in that one Falling in Reverse music video with Jelly Roll?
Was she, Brian? I know she's in Atomic Donald.
She was in Atomic Donald video.
She was in Snowflakes.
Yeah. It could be. I think you might be right.
Because I remember there was a trans person in that music video, and I remember like Ronnie was like, "Hey, I have a trans person in this music video. Fuck you, I ain't transphobic." And everybody in the comments was like, "Dude, like we don't claim this person." Like,
yeah, that was definitely Blair.
I think it was.
Yeah, that's their thing though. Like this is literally their business strategy, just like Finn has with his I'm gonna be fake music person forever. They have the how many times will I be called not right for the right. Like that's always the same thing.
Not
as like
right,
oh, like because I'm trans. Exactly. I think I just made up her slogan. I mean his slogan. I don't know anymore. I'm not literally. I have no problem if anyone. First, let me get full screen here. Hold on 1 second. I'm so sorry. We have to do this again. I have to make a statement, a public statement for everybody. Brian is here because he knows that I have had some fun times with the right, and I was a Christian and everything, and I still am Christian, but I don't have any beef with anybody. You respect me, I respect you. Anybody that wants to have a voice on the podcast, you can have a voice on the podcast. How I feel about people and how I feel about how they look is what I will call them. You look like a girl, you're a girl. You look like a guy, you're a guy. It's pretty simple as that. Dylan Mulvaney, pain in my ass. I have absolutely no idea what to call that. I hate them so much. Like I don't know why that they even would get a subscription to Bud Light, but now that I know that that's what happened and that everybody turned on Bud Light for that, I was like, there's so many other reasons to turn on Bud Light, but that yeah, I get it. Nail in the coffin. And that's one person that I do not like, that happens to be trans, as George Carlin would hate for me to say, happens to be trans, because I can't stand their personality and their ego, and it drives me crazy watching their content. I'm like, what are you? Are you trying to be 6 or are you trying to be 60? What are you doing? And are you portraying a woman or are you portraying a man trying to be a woman or are you portraying a trans woman? I need to know what you are trying to do because it's driving me up a wall every time I watch your content. Other people that are very simple and easy to this point, everyone that is in the gay community that does fashion and stuff like that, they're very clear about how they're flamboyant. And immediately I say, you know what? They probably know how to have a better fashion sense than me, or they know how to do makeup or something like that. That's my opinion. And then they prove it. And I'm like, yeah, of course. They have more artistic talent than I ever could. They have something in their body that it just says, I need to have this feminine energy. And I don't have that. I'm missing it because I'm a strong, white, straight man. Crazy, evil man I am. But no, seriously, anybody, literally, I'll let you talk on the podcast as long as you are respectful to me and my audience. That's it. That's all you got to be. That's simple and easy as that. And if you have hatred around you, I apologize, but it's true. Negativity does profit pretty well. Like if you're in the hot seat right now, like Matt is over here for posting about Finn McKenty, and I hope that more people find it, dude. Honestly, now that it's going to be a hot topic, I hope people go and they find yours and they're like, oh my god, this guy was first. He was.
Oh, first. Dude, I'm still getting notifications to this day that people are putting my video on their stories on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see, man. Because you know what? Because you care. That's why. Not because you're like, oh my God, hot topic. It's because you actually are a fan and you've seen this man's content, and it's not just like you watched a Wikipedia or looked at a Wikipedia article on Finn McKenty and made a video about it.
A real fan would check out his LinkedIn profile and then talk about it.
God, did you go to his LinkedIn yet? You got to check out his LinkedIn. It's
After you give him $3,000.
$3,000, and then you could open the page. It's kind of like that fan.
Then you have the right to talk about Finn McKenty.
Yeah, dude. Homeboy's fucking paywalls are worse than EA. Shit.
This is the DLC of all DLCs right here.
This ain't the DLC that I'm looking for. Goddamn. That's fucking great.
All right, let's continue finishing up Nick's video. I know that we've said this a couple of times, but now we're 5 minutes in instead of 3 minutes. What a huge change. We're all I really hope he gets to some great points here because I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling good too, yeah.
It's kind of like, why music out of all the things? If I had to make some kind of assumption, it's that Finn, I mean, of course, probably there has to have been a point where Finn has loved music. Get probably what Finn's perspective is on the content creator side. Like, sure, like I understand, like having people over the years shit talk you is not a fun vibe. Like, it's also doing this for so long, and Finn was very consistent at doing this. Burning out, that's understandable too. So to see all of that, and then I think him just develop probably this invertent hatred for it, and him wanting to just disconnect himself fully and literally burn the bridge so he doesn't have to go back, I feel like is what this interview is basically the result of. Comment that kind of summarizes the best is, this is like moving away and leaving a letter to your best friend saying, I never liked you guys anyways, which is what it kind of feels like, right? Yeah. Hit his financial goals but can't afford decent. Focusing on LinkedIn is hilarious, which again later in the interview he does discuss more.
Wait, did he say decent Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Decent internet.
It's financial goals, but can't afford a decent internet connection.
Dude, I just said that, and I'm not gonna take any. That's 2 days ago from whenever this video came out. Dude, that's unbelievable, unbelievable. Oh, we're all same-minded. We're not. What did he say? Soft-minded.
Smooth-brained.
Smooth-brained. Oh my God, that was so offensive, man. Yep. That was so offensive. It's like, listen to me, man. I don't care what you say about artists that I like. I don't care what you think about my political opinions, or I care about your political opinions. But I care when you say that if you like something, you're stupid. That's wrong. You should never do that to somebody. You can never just be like, flat out, you're stupid for liking this. That's horrible. Or thinking this way, or responding this way. It's like, listen, man, everyone has an opinion.
Except for Swifties.
We have to make that exception. I apologize. How could I have forgotten my favorite group? But that was one of my favorite things too about Finn, was the like ranking the worst fan bases. I was like, oh my God, this is so funny to know that he didn't care at all. And it was literally out of spite, not because of critical spite, but literal spite, just to be like, oh well, this is gonna trend.
What? I've never had an interest in punk rock MBA.
That's what we should have said for the intro. You know, I never really watched Finn McKenty.
You know, I've never actually wanted to be on the internet. I just did it for the money.
So yeah, I was just watching his content for the money. Yeah. Somebody paid me to watch it.
Paid $3,000.
My financial goals. That's why I unsubscribed.
How I made money watching Finn McKenty. The same scheme for the same shit.
I'm gonna do that to my boss. Be like, you know, I never really liked this job, but I fit my financial goals now, so I'm just gonna go.
I want to thank all you guys for being around. I know it seems like I enjoy this, but I truly hate all of you.
All you smooth-brained people that work here.
It's been a great 15 years where I've spent my good, hard life trying to get through each and every day. But yeah, this is it. I've made my financial goal exactly like I planned.
Don't worry about me. I've got a LinkedIn account. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
Also, how stupid is it that he said it when we're in the middle of an economic collapse? You can literally say, I made a $10 million, like, you know, congratulations, you made $10 million. That shit'll be gone in 2 years with the common economy that we have. Like,
it would have been great if that dude interviewing like pressed him a little bit. Like when he's like, I hit my financial goals. Be like, oh, does your wife agree with that statement?
There's one edit right before
just asking for a friend.
no, I don't like music. I could tell it was either a cut or it was just the lag. But there was like one moment where it was like before that he said something and then it was like, no, I don't like music.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Well,
all
that's,
right.
when we're watching Nick made a good point, and that's exactly what I feel about it. It's like when he said, I never cared about music, I don't believe him. Now, he might be at the point now that he's burnt out by it and doesn't want to deal with it. Okay, I'll buy that.
Yeah,
but if he
burnout
says,
is
I
definitely
never
a thing.
cared about it, I don't believe him. I think a
Yeah.
lot of it comes from he's kind of the, he can dish it out but can't take it type of person.
Yeah.
He
yeah.
likes to take,
Yeah, I
but
can
if
tell
he
that.
starts getting criticism, I'm going to take my ball and go home. And I think that's exactly what's going on here.
I feel like Finn, if he actually does this 100% strategically, is going to take all of our videos reacting to him and react to them, making a big compilation of people grifting off of his grift.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to be like.
But then he'll claim he doesn't care what we say about
and then
him.
he's going to be like looking at the numbers. He's like, obviously I still matter, so I'm coming back.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, whoa, didn't see that coming. Whoa, shocker.
He'll be like, I'm only making this video because I adjusted my financial goals.
That would be a smart way to actually start his stream.
Turns out I didn't meet my financial goals. I'm about
Actually,
$500 short.
I redid the
Actually.
calculations. I was off by a little bit, so I'm going to make another video.
Oopsie. It turns out LinkedIn is not a good source because no one's on it. Your grandparents and I have been best friends for 2 weeks, Dan. I know everything about you now.
And congratulations on your 10-year anniversary at work.
Here's my 2 weeks notice. Okay.
I found my financial goal is also to be out of a job. Oh, God. Okay, let's continue. His financial goals, but can't afford a decent internet connection. It's so true.
Yep.
It's so true.
Yeah, that should have been the pinned comment right there because that's perfect.
I like how he's got the skull even with it. That adds
Dude,
to it.
Yeah.
the dead, yeah. And that's the thing is, like, when it comes to modern emojis, I'm always confused. You get the one where it's crying, and I'm like, are you okay? And they're like, I'm laughing. I'm like, well, why didn't you put the laughing, crying face? Like, what the fuck? And now it's like the dead thing. It's like, can't afford the internet connection, dead. So it's like, okay, you're saying this internet connection is dead, or are you dead? And is it because it's funny, or is it because it's actually a dead internet connection?
It's because he laughed himself to death.
He laughed. He cried himself. He cried, laughed himself to death. These are the things I think about.
Yeah, he bitched himself to death too.
LinkedIn is hilarious, which again, later in the interview, he does discuss more about just like, yeah, screwed all that. I just did it for financial gain. I'm a marketing bro. Everyone should have known that. I don't, no one should be surprised. But I was surprised to see Finn actually did post about this situation just indirectly, which I guess is his new main social media platform because he burned the bridge of all the other socials that were tied to his brand, the Punk Rock MBA. And this post is from like a day ago. It goes, I want to change some things up in 2025. Make the internet nice again. Not the best start, Finn, of how you're approaching this. I'm not going to lie. I'm absolutely exhausted by all the cynicism, snark, and negativity on the internet. And yes, I've been part of the problem. I'm calling myself out too.
Wait a minute, did he really put a
knowledge of
trademark on
knowing
that?
Finn.
He fucking
really
did.
put TM to trademark that.
He
Dude.
fucking did.
That's the douchiest thing I've ever
He
seen.
totally fucking did.
Did he say want to make the internet nice again, as in MAGA kind of thing? Is
Yeah,
that
and
why
then
he
it
did
says
that?
TM.
Oh dear God.
Yeah. Yeah, that fucking happened.
Why don't you just dig your grave right now, bro? Like, you're just putting yourself.
Dude,
in a
he's already
position.
6 feet under. Like, we just need like 2 more shovels of dirt, and then the motherfucker is worm food.
Yep.
Like,
You got.
like his corpse is rotting away right now. Like, there's no point in even getting the stick to poke at it to see if he's gonna move. No, rigor mortis has already set in. He's fucking done. That's it. That's it.
Putting TM like that reminds me of Michael Scott when he declared bankruptcy by literally just yelling, I declare bankruptcy. That's kind of the exact same thing. The exact same thing.
when I've ever talked with him, he's always kind of just like, yeah, like it sucks that like I have to deal with this shit. And I understand that. It's not fun. But then doing an interview that basically pushes negativity much further than anything just to kind of burn that bridge and say a you to the community does not help when you can kind of just ride off into the sunset if you want and just be like, peace. You know, everyone is afraid to put themselves out there because they don't want to get dunked on, called out for bragging, shredded in the comments, etc. I want to stand for the opposite of that, a place where people can feel safe to put themselves out there without being judged, put down, or belittled. This is not the best way to start this journey, bro. Like, this interview was...
He's crying victim and then white knighting in the very next. Like, are you kidding me?
Dude, he's literally becoming PC and like so anti-woke at the same time. It's consistently controversial and kind of contradictory. It is so annoying. I don't know how to read it. I want Fantano.
You can't read this motherfucker. You can't.
Yeah.
This is one of those Fantano reads one of those like cringe bars. He needs to read this entire post out loud.
Yeah,
just break down each and everything because he would have fantastic commentary on it. Oh my god!
We just need to have like an AI Cat Williams voice read this entire statement.
Couldn't even do a full minute.
Couldn't even do a full minute, player.
Brian, if you've ever seen,
I'm here to make the internet nice again, pimp.
Trademark.
We all just want to get along. That's the reason why we was put here on the earth. We want to get along. That's, dude, what in the hell, man?
You gotta get along with each other, you motherfuckers. Like,
I said this.
It's like, look, player, you are stupid. Don't you realize that you gotta get on LinkedIn to start getting your bag, pimp? Come on, motherfucker.
That's it. This is now the new intro out of the 15 other intros.
With my bastardized Cat Williams voice.
Instantly, someone's like, he's racist. I'll be like, he's actually on the other side right now.
You were supposed to join the Sith. I mean, you were supposed...
completely switched up.
You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join the motherfuckers.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay.
Let's continue.
Okay.
This is not the way to start this, man. Focus on product, people. From working with 50 clients this year, I think I'll do my best work for people in the product triad,
50?
Designers, engineers, and product managers. I may not be the ultimate authority on product, but I've been doing it for 20 years as a designer, product manager, and I've done it at agencies, SMBs, and F500s, so I've seen it from a lot of angles. There's not a lot of people doing what I'm doing who have also been building shit for as long as I have. There's definitely not a lot of people that have built a YouTube channel in the music scene and said, the music scene after. For all the same reasons people are always scared
Dude,
to use
he single-handedly said everything and nothing at the same time.
You did it for the last 7 years.
I'm not claiming to be an expert, but let me tell you why I'm an expert at
music scene and said, the music scene.
There's
definitely
best take right here.
A lot of angles. There's not a lot of people doing what I'm doing who have also been building shit for as long as I have. There's definitely not a lot of people that have built a YouTube channel in the music scene and said, the music scene after.
That is so spot on. Like, he really does stand out. He is really a gem. He's a diamond in the rough. We didn't know that we were blessed with such greatness.
Yeah, he is definitely one of the creators of all time.
Poor AJR TV, whatever. What was RAR TV? AJR. He hates
John.
AJR.
John from AR TV.
Beyond AR TV, dude. The poor guy. I feel bad for. You know what? I gotta give this a sincere apology. One more clip. I'm sorry. We gotta just do this because full screen it. John, you've been working on YouTube for over a decade. Your views stay mediocre. Your channel number barely gets up to the important status of the first time YouTuber. And you refuse to review Red. Just stop. Just stop. You had one album review for my favorite band, and then you decided that metal and rock weren't going to be your thing, and you're wondering why you're not profiting off of it with either channel. It's probably because you left metal and rock in the dust, bro. Just Stop doing that. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. Then just quit because you've already reached your financial goals.
But
It's like motherfucker's killing it on LinkedIn right now, y'all.
there is some good news for John. If he pays the low price of $3,000 to Finn McKenty, he will become successful.
That's it. That's
You're welcome,
intro number
Internet.
25. Holy shit!
Did you notice that his bullshit on LinkedIn said like his goal or whatever is to help people grow on LinkedIn and YouTube?
I still love that he hasn't updated his Instagram.
Oh, he's
Here's my thousands of subscribers on YouTube, and you can go and check out my music content. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that? You missed it. What was that M word besides motherfucker? You got to be joking. What was that M word? I'm sorry. Did you say music?
Yeah, you said musicians, motherfuckers. Like,
Guys, he does have 50 clients.
Dude, that bothers me so
Come on.
much. He's like, I've made it, guys.
The
I have
keyword
50
was the little tilde, the little squiggle. It was about 50.
That's true.
So
that's a
not
good
even
point.
it's not even like a confirmed.
That's
50.
an excellent point. And it could be like 10 people with 5 different accounts. I'm just saying.
They have multiple personalities. Each day they're a different person for Finn. They all pay him $3,000.
It's like, yeah, all of a sudden they forgot their fucking Prozac for the day, and now they
Wait a
got
minute.
the multiple
Wait a minute.
personalities back.
Wait a minute. If he's hit his financial goals, then his financial goal must be $150,000 because he has 50 clients at $3,000.
There you go. Math.
We know the number that Finn needs to just stop the bullshit. $150,000.
Minus
Quick-
one.
quick
That's three
maths.
quick maths.
Quick
You
maths.
got it. You said it at the same fucking time, bro.
1 + 1 is 2 - 1. That's 3 quick maths.
This is Midwest telepathy over here.
Dude, we need a Midwestern emo cover of "Man's Not Hot Now."
Bro. No. I need memes go punk.
Yes.
Memes
Yes,
go
we
punk.
do.
Like take like classic vines and make an entire song with metalcore, screamo, deathcore, or whoever artists doing the literal best thing to it. Like fucking Lorna Shore on the guy that did I Dropped My Croissant. Just be like just like the most massively well-known deathcore song. And it's a
That would be
meme
awesome.
from like 15 years ago.
That shit
Oh, I
would do
love it.
that shit would do numbers on TikTok. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's got the attention span for it, I'll tell you. All
Oh,
right,
yeah.
back to Finn. Back to Nick. Just kidding. Oh my god, this is the best stream. I'm sorry, I still have to say it to everybody that has ever been on here. Brian was here with me for Christmas last year with
Yep.
Carly Shay. We had a blast, and I still love that. That was one of my favorite streams ever. I am having the funniest moments at every moment that you guys say something. It is so impossible to not want to pause and say more shit.
Yeah,
All right.
I know, dude. Half the shit that comes out of my mouth is just stupid. Just
All right,
fucking
back to this
stupid.
hot take again. This hot take of truth.
Shit for as long as I have. There's definitely not a lot of people that have built a YouTube channel in the music scene and said "F the music scene after for all the same reasons people are always scared to niche down. So please talk me into this because I want to do it. You have niched down. You did it for the last 7 years. You've niched. Punk Rock MBA is that niche. That is what that name and that socials are tied to. And also Finn's name at this point, especially because he had his alt channel, which was dedicated to music and sure to marketing, to points and a business focus, but that shifted to music as well as the podcast, which points and a business focus, but that shifted to music as well as the podcast, which is only music and alternative and some business stuff here and there. And there's another post also from a week ago that I guess kind of got my attention a bit more even, where he was talking about his YouTube channel here and how basically he grew it from nothing, which is true. It's not easy to grow a YouTube channel and do all of that, and kind of using it more of like a motivational speech to people. Like for the first 9 months of my YouTube channel, nobody was watching. It's how everyone starts. It's very like, let me sell you my course, Twitter, bro, link in bio, hit me for a consultation kind of energy. Going all the way down here, again, bringing all this motivation, you can do it, go get it. Here's my point, don't quit, is just, to be fair, a little tone deaf. in this situation. And the thing he's showcasing
Don't quit like
here
I
are
just
his
did.
music channel YouTube stats. So again, it's just a bit disingenuous even now going to the LinkedIn stage of things. Like, I get it, Finn, you're the marketing dude, even sitting here showing, look at where I started at these views, look at it after 7 years of building, when, like, let's just be real, just the only point here is the revenue. And I think this is the moment for me that really kind of was like, oh wow, like he really did just probably do this for money, and it wasn't about music at all. Go get the bag, dude. He did it, and he provided some pretty good videos here and there, even if it is just, as Finn has said, Wikipedia reread kind of slop. I think it's more of how he's going out and how he chose to do this, when he could have very much just literally gone into the sunset and been like, peace, not upload it again. But I think he did really want to burn that bridge. I think he wanted to say, hey, all of you guys, you've treated me like shit forever. I am going to say what I want to say. I want to mentally never have to be in a space with music again, because you guys ruined it for me. If that's the case, like, okay, it is what it is. I think it's sad and unfortunate, even for myself, being a person that has liked Finn's content and has done collabs with him. I don't have anything personally bad to say about Finn. Like, again, we've always been very nice with each other. Bro, this is just not the way to go about leaving. I don't know. I think it leaves a really bad taste. People that have been fans of him's mouth, but also musicians that have supported him, that has helped him generate this revenue, the fans that have helped him generate that revenue, and like the scene, which, look, is not perfect. The scene is fucked up. All right. I have my own fair quarrels with the scene and dealings, but I'll still sit here and die by loving breakdowns and 578 riffs until I'm like a million years old, because that's why I started YouTube and literally didn't even make AdSense for the first 4 years of doing this. And dude, everyone has heard Chop Suey.
Boom! That was a perfect way to end it. See, there's just look at the face again. That sums it up right there.
Everybody's heard Chop Suey.
That was awesome.
Did this motherfucker put Spirit Box like in D tier?
Yeah.
Dude, Nick knew that that the tagline was going to be that, and he needed to figure out a way to get to it. That was like watching a minute on Kill Tony, but it was a full 15 minutes, a full 10 minutes, and then you finally get to the punchline. Everybody knows Chop Suey. No, he put Spirit Box
10
in.
minutes was about 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Spirit Box is in B tier for whatever this ranking is. Bless the Fall, he currently was holding it. I hope to God it doesn't go to D tier, because they fucking rock, dude.
Yeah, Bless the Fall's a shit.
Dude, when they came back, was last year, this year, I was like, holy shit, this band is so good. I'm so glad they're back together. They took a long time off from it. And when my friend told me about them, I was like, I'll get to it eventually. When I did, I was like, dude, that was one of my favorite binges I've done so far. No question. That was so much fun. Great melodic metalcore. And Brian, have you listened to my metal playlist?
I've heard some of it, yeah.
No, the one that I made for you?
Yeah, I've listened to some of it.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Some of it by, the 3 songs?
Yeah, maybe 4.
Oh, thank you. 4 out of 50.
2 in the pink, 1 in the stink.
Exactly.
Seriously, everybody that was watching this, if I made this somehow stomachable, like if you could digest everything that was going on without absolutely going insane like we all did when we were watching this ourselves, we're just having a good time. We're all friends here. We're having a fantastic culmination of ideas and mentality that is in the exact same mutual space as what we thought Finn McKenty was, a place of passion, a place of persistence to actually promote fantastic creations and creators. And now that we see one of the creators has turned his back on his own community, turned his back on everything that we ever thought he was, it is time for you to go out of your way to make sure that everyone that you're following, everyone that you're subscribed to will not be the next Finn McKenty. Make sure that you test their fan base to say, hey, maybe I like the edited portion. How are they when they're not being edited? How is their stream? Do they seem like a reasonable person? Are they just a dick all the time? That's fine if they are a dick all the time. You know what dicks actually are, though? Fucking honest. That's it. That's the truth, man. We have honesty, and that is all that matters. Thank you, Finn, for 7 years of failure. Now we know all of your content that will stay around will get viewed by brand new people that we will turn away instantly the moment that we see their comments.
And thank you so much, Finn, for retiring when you did, because now that your platform is done, that means that all three of us can finally rise like a phoenix from the fucking ashes that you just burnt, you fucking moron. You goddamn shriveled up, ball sack looking motherfucker.
All right, Brian, what's your final words for Finn McKenty, our favorite fella?
Finn, I want to thank you for, explaining things in a way that a smooth brain idiot like myself can understand. I know that it meant nothing to you at the time, and you were just doing it for the money and the nookie, and I respect that. But I want to thank you particularly for being sponsored by Hims, because I used to be as bald as you until I watched your videos, and then I ordered Hims, and that stuff really does work. So I really appreciate everything that you've done. I hope that you have a good time on LinkedIn, and you suck.
And also, if you guys wanted to know how Hims works, the more that you unsubscribe from bad people like Finn McKenty, the longer your hair grows in quicker time. It's crazy.
Yeah, because your testosterone goes back to
your testosterone goes back up when you're not following pussies for your entire life.
God damn it. Oh, man.
A special shout out to Finn's wife. Now that he has exposed himself for who he is, and you're no longer 17, I'm single. Just throwing it out there.
Oh my God. I hope you love Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, that was amazing. Absolutely amazing, guys. Thanks for joining me. Seriously, this was so much fun.
This was a blast.
Really,
it was
really
awesome meeting you, man. This
worth
was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Same with you, Brian. Like, you're the shit, dog.
You too, man. We definitely got to do this again. This was a ton of fun.
You guys have a great night. I'm going to get some sleep, and I have to do a laundry because I have no shirts to wear tomorrow.
Yeah, I got to do laundry too, actually. So it's kind of funny that you say that.
Perfect timing.
We'll see you, fellas. Have a Merry Christmas next week.
All right. Yes. Merry Christmas. Happy holiday. Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Peace.